It's a throwback in a sense. With two new faces in the assembly comes something Wisconsin hasn't seen since the 1980s. That's Democratic Socialists in the state assembly. And as the state heads into Labor Day weekend, political reporter Will Keneally sat down with them to learn more about their ideas for the Capitol.
Milwaukee has a long history with socialism. The last time a socialist was in the assembly, he represented Milwaukee. The last socialist mayor in the country, also from Milwaukee. And Darrin-Madison and Ryan-Clancy want to take up the mantle of that legacy.
I mean, the history of socialism in Milwaukee, and I think the state generally, is really a pragmatic one.
We caught up with them at Milwaukee's Turner Hall, which was founded by a socialist group in the 1800s. That history is important to them.
Those who were socialists laid the foundation for so many things. I mean, you just ran down the list, right?
The socialists in Milwaukee were labeled by their naysayers as sewer socialists, and they embraced that.
They say that includes key infrastructure like sewers that we now take for granted. The 2022 version, they say, is to stand up for the working class.
You know, it's about ensuring that folks have access to full participation in our economy, right? There's so many access points in which communities and working class citizens are deprived of resources and the ability to live thriving lives.
The two acknowledge, though, democratic socialism can carry a negative connotation with those on the right. Some of the more prominent democratic socialists in the country include politicians like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
The Socialist Squad is leading the charge to defund our police.
Madison and Clancy say they are not opposed to working with Republicans across the aisle.
I've also worked with Republicans on several issues as it relates to youth incarceration, as well as agriculture in our state.
They also want to hold Democrats' feet to the fire on liberal policies.
It means that folks a little bit to the left of mainstream Dems are going to hold both Republicans and Democrats accountable.
This all comes ahead of the president's visit to Milwaukee on Labor Day.
I'd love to hear more about his plans to expand the protections and the equal opportunity for working class citizens.
And I think, what socialism's promise is in Wisconsin is taking those big ideas, the Wisconsin idea, of great public education for everyone, the idea that we're investing in sewers and parks and everything else, and return our focus to that.
In Milwaukee, Will Keneally, News 3 Now.
As we mentioned, President Biden will be visiting the Labor Fest in Milwaukee on Monday, and we'll have coverage on that on News 3 Now.